meditation program. Now, I started this meditation program a few months back. This is a brainwave entrainment meditation program, which means that it uses technology such as brainwave entrainment, binaural beats, isochronic tones, etc., to in a way help your mind and help you touch these altered states of mind that can completely change your life. When you start doing a brainwave entrainment meditation, it goes beyond a traditional meditation. With traditional meditation, it can take you years for your brain to go to those levels. But when you start introducing brainwave entrainment components into your meditation, it can take you into those altered states a lot faster. The first time I had truly experienced the benefits of a brainwave entrainment meditation was with Zen 12. It was the first meditation with which I learned how to focus. And after that, I used silver meditations. It's different than these normal brainwave entrainment programs, but it was still pretty good. It was actually the first time I learned how to access my intuition was with a brainwave entrainment meditation, which is why when I learned that there are all these advanced brainwave entrainment meditation programs, I could not wait to try them. I tried one a few months back, and I fell in love with it initially, but unfortunately did not work for me. So I wanted to give another one a shot, and with that I picked up Brain Evolution System because it was created by the same founders as Zen 12, Brainwave Shots. These are the programs that I've used in the past, I've loved in the past, and I wanted to give it a shot based on the testimonials that it had received. So with that, let's get started. So Brain Evolution System is an advanced meditation program. It is meant for beginners to advance. All levels can use it. These meditations are about 30 minutes long. There's 6 levels in the program. Each level lasts for 30 days. And the way it works is that you use it for 6 days and of a week, and then 7 days you take a break. And again, you start day 1 to 6, and again 7 days you take a break, and you use the same level 1 for 30 days, then move on to level 2, and so on. So at the end of 6 months, the program ends, but then they give you a sort of schedule to follow, so you can continue reusing these 6 audios over and over again. The way the founders describe Brain Evolution System is that it's a gym for your mind. And I think that is a good way to describe it, because it is not one of those meditations that tells you, oh, you just plug in the audio and we will take you to deep states of meditation. It's not that 100%. There's definitely that component where it will help you, but it also requires a little bit of effort on your side, where it forces you to develop a sense of focus in your meditation practice. And to me, this is the big distinction, and a very important distinction between Brain Evolution System and its components. I'll explain why this is so important as we go on into the video. The other piece that makes this meditation a little bit unique is that it uses a patent pending technology known as 3PDAP. This is also the 3-point dynamic entrainment audio process. What that means is that it uses 3 types of brainwave entrainment technologies. One is that it uses the binaural process, which is very similar to another competitor, Holosync. It uses a carrier frequency in order to entrain your brainwave to lower frequencies. For the second piece, it uses other types of brainwave entrainment processes such as isochronic tones and so on. And then lastly, it uses a temporal entrainment, which in a way increases the effectiveness of these 2 previous processes that I was talking about, because it uses technology which make your brain think that things are slowing down even when they aren't, and it in a way helps your brain slow down rather than go at that steady pace. The way you can use it is you plug in the audio, right? And you can either sit, you can lie down, you can be on a recline, and then you just listen to the audio. What I have noticed is that for the first few minutes, I do have to focus on the soundtrack, much like a regular meditation. And after that, the technology does the rest for me. Once I get into that state of focus, once I get into the zone, it pulls me in deeper and deeper. Okay, so for my first impressions with Brain Evolution System, as soon as I started listening to it, was that it was nature sounds. And I am not a fan of nature sounds. So I was just like, why couldn't it be as nice as Holosync? Because if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I was using Holosync and I love the soundscapes of it. However, Holosync did not work out for me the way I had hoped for it to. So I was hoping it would be kind of like Holosync, but it was not. And I don't really like nature sounds as much. Having said that, because of its positive reviews, I stuck through it. And I'm really glad I did because as I was approaching the 12 to 13-minute mark, I was following the instructions. The instructions said to focus on those sounds. So that's what I did. I was just focusing on the sounds. If a distraction came, then I would observe it and then I would go back to the sound. So you get that? Like there's that continuous focus. You can't just let yourself go. You have to be present and you have to focus on that sound. So that's where the whole gym analogy comes from, because it is not just 30 minutes of relaxation. You're not relaxing. You're constantly pulling your brain to focus on that sound. So I was focusing on the sound and I noticed that at the 12 to 13-minute mark, now the track was working for me. So initially I had to work to get to a certain point, and after that, without much effort on my end, the track kept pulling me to the center. And if I lost my focus at that point, it did not matter because the track kept pulling me deeper and deeper into my center, which was a beautiful feeling. But what I noticed is that if I kept focusing, then I got pulled even more deeper and the feelings became more intense. I just felt like everything around me just stopped. The world around me stopped and I was here within myself. It was almost similar to that I am consciousness. It was beautiful. So that was my first impression with brain evolution system. And now here's the thing, right? I have had that feeling of being centered in the past with other meditations, but the true test for me for meditation comes when I'm done with the meditation. Now that I have had a great 30-minute session, let's see how long I stay in that great state for. Because to me, that is the most important thing. For me, mindfulness is the biggest goal. As a parent of two little ones, they test my patience day in and day out. And meditation is what helps me keep centered, grounded, and helps me be more patient towards them. So that's my goal. And what I noticed with Brain Evolution System was amazing. Once I was done with my meditation, my sense of presence lasted close to 12 hours, which was amazing. And eventually over time, what I noticed was that on days, there were certain days where I skipped a day and I did not even have to meditate in order to feel calm. The effects just lasted sometimes even more than 24 hours. So to me, that was amazing. Anything that lasts more than 8 hours is amazing, and this was lasting way over that. I'm not in a situation where I'm stress free, right? There's kids who are constantly screaming in the house and calling me and sometimes being absolutely crazy, and to have patience in the middle of all that, it requires a lot of resilience. And for Brain Evolution System to do that for me, I am grateful. Like it was just amazing to experience. In addition to that, one of the other beautiful things that I noticed was that the observer effect was different with Brain Evolution System. If you're someone who has meditated for a while, you likely have experienced the observer effect. If you have not, it is the phenomenon where after a meditation you feel like an observer, where you feel like you are everything that's happening around you. It's almost like you're watching it on a movie screen. Nothing impacts you, nothing affects you, nothing makes you feel down or low. So, for example, if I'm reading a newspaper headline where something bad happened in another part of the world, it's not going to bring me down. That's kind of an observer effect. So in my case, what I notice is that with my other meditations, I did experience the observer effect, but it was almost like, say my daughter had a tantrum and then she was crying. With the observer effect, her crying and her stress didn't affect me, and I was able to comfort her easily because it wasn't affecting me and I wasn't losing my patience because of it. But however, with that observer effect, I also noticed that I was just observing her. So I didn't feel bad, but at the same time, I did not feel like I had to go out of my way to do anything, right? Like that empathy component was gone in the observer effect. I was just looking at her and I would just observe her. It was like really weird. It was a weird place to be in, and I did not like it. Like in my being, I knew that of course I'm her mom, and even though I'm in this observer state right now, I have to comfort her. So I would do my duty, but it did not really come from within me. However, with brain evolution system, my observer effect was very different. What I noticed is that I had the observer effect where I was observing, it wasn't affecting me, none of that. But then at the same time, I had this heightened feeling of compassion where all I wanted to do is comfort my child. And all I wanted to do was love her and see things from her perspective and just help her feel better. So it was like observer effect, but then in a way that I like it. Like I like now being in touch with my feelings. I like not feeling fully detached. So I am detached, but in a compassionate way. And to me, that was amazing. That is not something I've experienced with any of my meditations in the past. So I love that. Along with that, I also noticed the altered state effects that I have noticed with other brain wave meditations, which is that because I was tapping into these deep brainwave states, I felt that it was removing all these kinks out from within me, which is that I was becoming a lot more disciplined. I was sticking to my schedule. I was a lot more focused. My memory was a lot sharper without me even doing anything. In the past, I have used things such as hypnosis and so on to help me with those. But with these meditations, you don't necessarily need those unless you have a big problem. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. Like I have not done my memory hypnosis in a long, long time. And still, I don't feel like I'm forgetting things. I remember exactly where I put things. And that is very much unlike me. I was not like that before. Like I would forget things nonstop. It was like a running joke in the family. But that's not who I am anymore. I remember things and I stick to my schedules and I stick to my goals. And it is pretty amazing. Alternatives to brain evolution system, Holosync is one of the top competitors. I've used Holosync. You can check out my review on Holosync. Initially I fell in love with it, but unfortunately I had some side effects. It did not last for me as long as brain evolution system did. I do feel that I do tend to get more negative when I'm surrounded around with chaos, and it just did not work for me the way I had hoped for it to. So in that sense, for myself, I consider brain evolution to be superior. And level 1 of Holosync was 60 minutes long. Level 1 of brain evolution system is 30 minutes long. Brain evolution system gave me the same benefits that Holosync did and more, like 10 times more, in 30 minutes and half the time. So in that sense, brain evolution system is a winner in my eyes. The other meditation I can compare it to is transcendental meditation. Even though transcendental meditation is not a brainwave entrainment type of meditation, it is still a very, very powerful meditation. That is what I used to use before Holosync. However, with transcendental meditation, again, that observer effect that I was talking about, I had it with TM, but it was a state where I did not have any sense of empathy. And I am naturally a person full of empathy, so I did not really like that observer effect that I had. And in that sense, brain evolution system, it helps me feel a lot more compassionate. My theory is that with brain evolution system, because it takes me into these deep states and keeps me there, I think there's a spike in my gamma brainwaves because of that. Because your gamma brainwaves, these are these rare brainwave patterns that you have within you, and they only spike during certain times. So my theory is that I think with brain evolution system, I was almost tapping into my gamma brainwave somehow, and that is what has really opened up that reservoir of compassion and feelings and love within me. I don't know if that's true or not, but that is what I am thinking. But again, I don't know. There's no way to know for sure until you use those devices to measure your brain. Then lastly, there is a meditation also known as Profound 3.0, created by iAwake, and that is similar. However, with Profound 3.0, I again noticed that they don't really make your brain focus. The track does it for you. I also noticed something very similar to Holosync, where the effects just lasted about 2 hours and then I was back to my normal self. Profound 3.0 to me is more of a beginner's meditation versus this, which is more beginners to advanced. This is definitely in the same category as Holosync. Okay, so what I liked about brain evolution system is that there's long-term results because of the way it makes you work out your brain. The effects that you see last a lot longer. It just changes you completely as a person. You're able to stay a lot more calm, objective for longer periods of time, even in the midst of chaos. You don't need to be dependent on a program in order for you to feel a certain way. Number 2 is that I love that it increased my focus and my sense of compassion. This is something I'd never experienced with the meditation before. I have done all the heart energy meditations and so on, but I've never really experienced this sense of compassion and love within me. So that is something I absolutely love about brain evolution system. Number three is that it uses superior technology. This is a patent pending technology. It uses binaural beats. It uses isochronic tones. And along with that, it uses a bunch of other technology. And that is what makes it so powerful, because what it does is that it mimics real life scenarios. Because in real life, you don't just have alpha brainwaves going through your head, right? You have a mix of alpha and then maybe a little bit of beta and a little bit of delta. Like you have a whole mix of brainwaves. And that is what this system does, where it's throwing all those multiple brain waves at you and then training your brain to focus on those in a systematic way, which is why it is so effective. Number four is that duration. I love that it is 30 minutes long. Like I would still have done it if it was longer than that, but 30 minutes just makes it so much more manageable. And the 1 day break in between also makes a huge difference in staying consistent with my meditation. The last thing that I like about it is that you can listen to these meditations lying down. With a lot of brainwave entrainment meditations, you can, because you fall asleep. With this particular track, you definitely can listen to it lying down. Okay, as far as the cons go, there is a disruptive soundscape. So the soundscapes are certainly not as beautiful as Holosync, if that is something you've used in the past. Every level is a different soundscape. With level 1, it was more like you're in a cave where the water is dropping right down the cave. And so the sounds are definitely disruptive. But I also think this could be a pro, because they do make it disruptive on purpose, and they do make it a little bit more intense on purpose so that your brain can focus on it. In fact, in level 2, they have this gentle stream that you have to focus on, gentle stream of water, but then along with that, they have these church bells going on in the background. So when I focus on the stream, and then the church bells go off, it distracts my focus, and then I have to bring my focus back to the stream. So in a way, it's like exercising my brain to do that, which is great, because it helps you deal with chaos. It helps you deal with the disruptive elements in your day-to-day life. But I can see how this can be a con for some people who just want a relaxing meditation. If you want just a relaxing meditation, then this is probably not the right fit for you. Number 3 is that there is a limited number of levels. There's 6 levels. So at the end of 6 levels, you're done with this meditation. However, they do give you a schedule. They do ask you to go back all the way to level 1 and then continue with this program over and over again. Again, I don't know how effective that is going to be, because I know I have used Zen 12 in the past, right? And when I do go back to it, it is not as effective for me anymore as it was when I was a beginner. So again, I don't know if that is going to work that well, but I can't say for sure because I have not done it. So yeah, once my 6 months are done, I'll definitely come back and let you guys know how exactly it went. Then they have a mystery level 7. The program is just 6 levels, and then when you graduate from the 6 levels, they invite you to level 7. I don't know a lot about this level. I don't know if you have to pay extra for it, but I do know that it is 50 minutes long. Again, I don't know what happens at the end of this, if you just keep listening to this track for life. There's a lot that I don't know, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But just know that there is a level 7 that may cost you some additional money. And lastly, the members area is obsolete. They really need to revamp their website. They literally have instructions for dial-up users on the members area, which is crazy. Who uses dial-up now? And also, like when I just click on the track and listen to it, there is no timestamp. So sometimes when, say, I get interrupted in my meditation, there's no way for me to tell where I am. And sometimes the pause thing just stops and I have to restart the meditation. So it got so annoying where now I just downloaded the track individually on my phone and I use a different app to listen to it. So okay, so all in all, I love this program so far. It is doing miracles for me. It is everything that I have been looking for in a meditation. Something for me, it was always something that would keep me in that sense of presence, sense of peace all day long. Something that helped me become more compassionate. Something that helped me more disciplined, helped me with my memory, all these other issues that I was having with my immune system. That's the one thing I noticed with Brain Evolution System. I haven't been sick even once since I started using Brain Evolution System. And the past few months, I was getting sick back to back, and it was very frustrating. But now, for some reason, I'm not getting sick anymore. And I think a lot of that has to do with touching your delta brainwave state, because that's supposed to be very healing for your body. I had this big eczema thing on my foot, and that has disappeared as well since I started this meditation. So, that to me is extremely powerful. So, obviously, I highly, highly recommend this meditation. Just keep in mind, this is not a lazy person's meditation. It is not like a meditation where you can go in and just relax. You do have to put in a little bit of focus in the meditation, but after that, you do feel relaxed throughout the day. So, that is, I guess, the price of feeling relaxed all day. Also, one thing that I do want to mention is that over the years of my meditation practices, I have developed certain focus techniques that help me focus in any meditation. It does not matter whether you're using this meditation or whether you're not using any meditation. When you just sit down in silence and you use these focus techniques, it will really help you get into deeper states of meditation. So, if that is something you're interested in, make sure you check out my freebie. I will link it in the description box down below, and that freebie will give you a cheat sheet that will give you the ways I do this, my different focus techniques. I have used these focus techniques with different meditations. I have used these focus techniques in silence. I've also used these in brain evolution system. So if you are someone, say you download brain evolution system and their level 1 is free, right? So if you just want to try and test it to see if it works for you, and you feel that you can't focus on their sound tracks that much, then you can look at my cheat sheet and you can use one of the focus techniques on it. That is what I had to initially do too with brain evolution system, and that will help you get into that centered state. In fact, I've noticed that sometimes these focus techniques get me into the deeper levels even more. So it may be beneficial to you whether or not you use this meditation or not. So make sure you check that out. All in all, highly recommend this program. I will leave a link to their free level 1 in the description box down below. Make sure you click on it and at least give it a shot to see if it works for you or not. And yeah, with that, I hope this review has helped you in making a purchasing decision, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.